Jack, a really incredible game today. Can I get your thoughts on the 90 minutes, please?
Like I've said often enough recently, the result is be all and end all for us. But to do it in that manner, I think reflects the character and desire that we have within this playing squad at the moment. To come back from the very difficult start we had and produce that manner of performance and to score 3 goals away from home is brilliant.
You mentioned their character and determination. The guts this team has at the moment, it seems to be growing in abundance week on week. Maybe earlier in the season this kind of going 2-0 down might have been a setback that really hurt the team, but they've really fought for the 3 points today. How much do you feel that's grown over the past couple of months?
Yeah, I think I've mentioned that. I think every time we win a game and it's another fixture down, if you like, in the fixture list, I think the belief grows. I think their trust in themselves and each other grows. And I said, the only thing I said to them at half time, and I think some of them probably thought I wasn't telling them the truth, but it was true, was the first 2 words I'd written down on my notepad in the first half was patience and trust. But they have to do that on the park, and I made the point of saying that to players. That game today was the players that turned it around, the players that won it, nothing to do with me or my staff. And, nothing we did tactically in the game, nothing we did motivational wise. It was them. They're the ones that were on the pitch, and they were the ones that dealt with going 2-0 down after 6 minutes and showed. The response right away was great, because the 10-15 minutes after that we probably should have scored in that period, and then we did manage to obviously score the couple before half time. The second half I thought was a little bit more scrappy, but it was then just about finding a winning goal, and so grateful to do that as well.
What are you feeling on the touchline after sort of 6 minutes when they've gone 2-0 up? The way you started, you must have been disappointed to kind of that was the way you'd started the game. You'd have come with a game plan, and to be 2-0 down so early on would have been frustrating.
Yeah, it's far from ideal, and the 2 goals were scored by their 2 very dangerous players in attacking areas. The types of goals they both were was what we expected from their movements, but they were both really good finishes. So there was nothing that we could have done probably preparation wise or organisational wise to prevent them. They happen. It's the response then that's the most important thing, and I would rather be 2-0 down after 6 minutes than 2-0 down with 6 minutes to go. And the reaction is then the important thing, and it's even, I have to then start to think, even that early in the game, think about the rest of the half and about half time, and it was always going to be that way about continuing to get them to believe in themselves. But it was easy for me by half time because they had shown that they believed in themselves by coming back in the manner, not just the fact they scored 2, I think they'd created several other good opportunities in that first half as well.
Happy for Gavin Riley as well. That's him up to 19. His 2 goals, 2 good strikers. Finishes well. He gambles in the first one and gets the break, and then the second one he takes really well as well.
Yeah, the second one in particular I think is reflective of where he feels he's at the moment, and you don't take that as confidently as he did, because this surface isn't easy to deal with, and the ball was probably skipping up slightly at that time, and to compose himself and he finishes it, it wraps the back of the net. It's not a trundled finish, it's put in with conviction. But when you've scored that many goals pre-Christmas, then you should be like that. So really pleased for him, because he had a difficult season prior to coming here, and his contribution this season has been terrific. But as his whole playing squad, and I stress that because there's guys in there today that aren't stripped, that have travelled, and they contribute to how we train on a daily basis, the intensity at which we do things, the level of preparation we do, and so I think they do still feel a part of it. It's important that I always make them feel a part of it, because they play a big part in us. It's making the progression we've done in the last year as well.
Gary McKenzie came back into the squad today and scored the winning goal. That must have been a pleasing moment for him personally. How happy were you with him getting through the whole 90 minutes? Yeah,
you still not had a lot of training time and match time. We did a difficult week prior to this one with the weather, so it restricted a bit on what we could do with him. So we still short of match fitness, but with Harry not being available, we had a big decision to make, and I had a good long chat with him yesterday, and I was convinced that he felt in the right frame of mind to play. And so not only does he give us what his strength defensively and in terms of how he wins headers, but he absolutely gives us that threat in the opposition area, and he did that time after time for us last season, in the second half of the season in particular. I think he felt as if he should have scored a couple in the first half. He had opportunities, so delighted for him personally, because it's been a tough season. I think people always underestimate how challenging it is for players when they have a lengthy injury, and so it's been challenging for him to deal with that absence, especially when things have been going so well for us. So I know he'll take great satisfaction for the fact he's managed to go back on the pitch and contribute so big in such a positive way today.
Harry Davis, obviously, like you mentioned, was out today. Is there anything concerning there, or was it just obviously the playing surface?
No, we have to look after Harry in that respect as well. And I've pushed him a lot recently. Very early, and he's come back. We pushed him to play 3 games a week right at the very beginning of it, which he probably shouldn't have done. But we cajoled him into it, and he responded brilliantly. And he has had no setbacks with his body since that. But the type of injury he's had and the surgery he's had, and the advice from the surgeons is that this is difficult for him. Psychologically he needs to feel right as well, but also I need to look after my whole playing squad. So again, we had conversations about it, and we felt as if it was the right thing to do. So he would have wanted to play today because he's been determined to get back, and he has made a huge contribution in the time he's been back fit as well. So nice that it coincided with Gary's return though as well.
Adam Eckersley went off injured quite early on as well. How's he doing?
He's a problem with his hamstring, so we'll just have to assess that over the coming days. He's been getting a bit of tightness in it recently anyway, so obviously it went fairly early in the game. We'll see how it settles down over the next couple of days. Obviously we've got a lot of games coming up in a short period of time, so we'll need to assess whether or not it rules him out of them, whether it's a risk worth taking. But equally I thought Stelios did really well today. I think that he had a difficult couple of weeks because of the sending off, which was deserved, and then he has to fulfil his suspension. But I think credit to him that he's responded in that manner today, getting that opportunity early in the game. His performance was good.
I thought Stephen McGinn today was excellent. I thought he had a real calming influence in the team as well. How did you rate his performance?
Stephen's a really, really good player, and he's still a young man, relatively young man, but the experience he's gained since he left this club the first time in the career he's had has been outstanding. And he also has an absolute desire to do well for this club, and spoke often enough about the relationship I have with him, and I think he knows that. I felt as if for a little 2 or 3 week period I thought he'd shaded slightly, but sometimes that comes with the responsibility he feels. But I think he's grown back into it again. I think his probably trust in his role, if you like, has grown all the time as well, and he's an outstanding contributor to our team on a weekly basis. I have the utmost respect for how he goes about his business on a match day, and love having him in my team, and I thought his impact upon the game, both offensively and defensively, was terrific today.
Nearly 650 fans made the journey down here 2 days before Christmas. Great support. Can you get a word for them?
Yeah, I was surprised at the numbers. To almost fill that section of the ground, their vocal backing, and the key aspect of that is their vocal backing at 2-0 down was important as well. I had written patience and trust from my players, but I was pleased that the fans showed that. But I think that is testament to the trust they have in the players as well, and what we're doing. So happy that they get to enjoy a game like that. Winning a game is brilliant. Sometimes doing it in that manner is even more enjoyable for supporters in particular. So I know they'll travel home happy tonight, and it's great for me that I get the opportunity to wish them a Merry Christmas on behalf of the players and the staff as well, and I hope they have a fantastic time. I hope this has helped them have an enjoyable time, and I look forward to seeing them on Friday night, because it's a brilliant game for us as a club to look forward to.
Just finally, to be top of the league at Christmas time, that must be nice.
Yeah, it's probably a nice way to get towards the culmination of this year, if you like. I think over the calendar year our results have been outstanding. The consistency in performance and consistent results has been terrific. If we had managed to, if that had been over a season, if you like, rather than a year, I think we would have every chance of achieving success. We just got to make sure we do that over the second half of this season. To be in this position is brilliant. We've got what will be a hugely challenging game on Friday, but equally a brilliantly exciting one for the club to have, and I'm going to look forward to it when it comes around.
Thanks very much, Jack.
Cheers, Jimbo. Top man.